Hello and welcome to the I Can Do podcast with Benjamin Lee. We're here to talk about tips and strategies to have an I Can Do mindset. Life is what you put into it. Get the most you can. Here's your host, Benjamin Lee.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of I Can Do. I'm Benjamin Lee, episode number 170. I heard this great quote that I want to share with you that I think will help all of us in a couple of ways. I heard someone say, with respect to the past, look, but don't stare. As you think about your past, look, but don't stare. That really stood out to me. The past is something that's very important. If we don't consider the past, we can make the same mistakes. There are many things that we need to remember concerning the past. Yet at the same time, it can also become a trap. Many times, and think about this, many times in a couple of different ways, right? Where think about success. Have you ever found yourself dwelling upon past success? Now, there's nothing wrong considering it, being appreciating what you have accomplished, being thankful maybe for opportunities. But I think this is where this quote really becomes important. Look, but don't stare. In other words, don't get so caught up with what we did or what you did or what I did years ago that holds us back from pursuing new things, new goals, from getting better in our lives. One of the challenges, I think, for everybody is past success and just kind of sitting on that. That's why it's difficult when you think about sports. A team can win a championship, but it gets a lot more challenging to win back-to-back titles. When the Philadelphia Eagles beat the New England Patriots, by the way, I was disappointed when they beat them, I guess about almost 5 years ago. So many people on the Eagles team, it just felt like they kept celebrating. I can remember listening to a sports talk show. Everybody's making a book. Everybody's just celebrating constantly, considering and reflecting upon what they did, which is fine, but they didn't get back to another Super Bowl for 5 years this past year. On the other hand, with the New England Patriots, they enjoyed great success. And no doubt they went back and they looked at that from the past, but they didn't stare. They didn't just get caught up in the past with what they already had accomplished. So I think when I heard this statement, it made me think about a couple of things. Number one, look, but don't stare concerning what's already taken place. And that will help you and help me when we start thinking about success. One of the greatest challenges of future success or obstacles that can get in the way of future success is current success and maybe even previous success. That's why certain companies do so well, but they never evolve, they never get better, they never make improvements, and then before you know it, they no longer exist. Look, but don't stare. Now, the same could be said with respect to failures, difficulties, where we can look back into the past and we can stare so long at all of those failures and setbacks and challenges, we tell ourselves, this is how it's always going to be. There's another danger that we have to be aware of as well. That's why it's better to look, but not stare. Look in a sense of acknowledge what happened, think about how we can change, what we can do differently, but not stare where we just get hypnotized with all of the failures of our past and we can never move forward. I think about King David. King David committed adultery with Bathsheba in the Bible, and he tried to hide his sin. He had her husband killed in battle. No doubt he thought he got away with it until the prophet Nathan came to him and told him, "You are the man." Then David acknowledged, I have sinned. He sinned. He acknowledged it, and God would forgive him. There would be consequences. A sword would not depart from his house. The baby that Bathsheba was pregnant with, they would lose that child. That happened. The Lord struck the child. And what's interesting in the story is that David, he began to pray in the fast for 7 days. And after he saw the writing on the wall, essentially with how the servants were acting, he got up, he washed, he shaved, he ate, and he moved forward. And I think there's something to be said about that. Now, he would always remember that event. The sword would not depart from his house. But one thing he did not do, he didn't get stuck in the past. He did move forward. He realized there was nothing else he could do to bring that child back. He knew that he was right with God. You read passages like Psalm chapter 32, verses 1-5. And so when you think about the past, it can be a very challenging thing. Certainly, we have to consider the past. We don't ignore the past. That's a foolish thing to do. That's not the right thing to do. But we also cannot get stuck in the past. Look, but don't stare. And I don't know if I need to define that even more. Obviously, when it comes to important issues, yeah, we look, but we don't get so stuck or stubborn or defeated as if nothing is ever going to be able to change. All right, so I just wanted to share that quote with you as you think about the past. Look, but don't stare. And hopefully that will give you some encouragement, some insight about how we still have to press on. We have to press forward. We still have to keep moving forward. And we learn. We don't have to keep living and learning. Let's learn from the past. Let's live the right way. And let's continue to do the best we can. Take care. God bless. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. If you are in the need or looking for more motivation in your life, feel free to check out my website, benjaminlee.blog, where you can find hundreds of encouraging, motivational blog posts on a variety of subjects. You can find all of my books, which can also be found on Amazon.com, and other podcast interviews with a variety of people. I hope this helps. Please leave me a rating and a review. I can do, and so can you. Take care, and God bless.